So we are going to read chapter 19, The Wizard of Oz. Let's see. It's pretty long, so we'll probably just read that one this time. Maybe we'll read two. The Wizard of Oz. On the night of the school play, the sky was as quiet as a feather falling. It was still and silent, without movement from the snow or wind. I couldn't understand it at all. How could it be so calm when the play was about to happen? Backstage, everyone was running around, getting dressed and putting on makeup. Tin cans were being polished, straw was taped on, and green backdrops were whizzing around. Kathy Small, who played Glinda, had gotten her hair permed just for the occasion. I didn't have much to do. I'd already put on my flowered munchkin apron and bonnet. Even though I didn't look like a munchkin, my costume was perfect. Most of the munchkins had used old clothes belonging to their parents or grandparents to make their costumes, but my parents didn't have anything that looked right. So Mom and I went to the store, and I picked out a leaf green material with delicate rosebuds scattered on it. It was called calico, which was what the American pioneer girls wore, and it was exactly right for a munchkin. I also had my gift that I was supposed to hand to Dorothy. It was a shoebox covered with sapphire blue wrapping paper and a big red bow. It was completely empty. I could toss it in the air like a balloon. But that didn't matter because Dorothy never ended up opening it, which I didn't think was right. If I were given a gift from a munchkin, I'd open it right away. Melody and I watched everyone rush around. It was as if there were a hurricane happening around us. This is why I didn't try out to be Dorothy, Melody told me. Too stressful. True, I said, but it's exciting too. When you're one of us without an important role, it's pretty boring. You've got an important role, Melody said. You're the gift-giving munchkin. Yeah, I'm giving an empty box, I said. Great present. Actually, Danny Dog has the biggest role of all of us, Melody laughed. Danny Dog was Melody's stuffed animal. He was going to be Toto. Becky had volunteered Scruffy, but Miss Malone said a real dog would be unreliable. So Melody brought fuzzy, chocolate-colored Danny Dog. Most of the time, Danny Dog was carried in Dorothy's basket, so he didn't really get to do much either, though one of the boys did bark off stage to give him a voice. Melody was dressed all in black. All the orchestra was dressed in black, so they wouldn't be too obvious. Melody wanted to wear black makeup too, but Miss Malone said it wouldn't be necessary. Grace, Melody, Miss Malone said, get to your places. The curtains will go up in 10 minutes. Melody waved goodbye as she went to the orchestra pit, which was the area in front of the stage. I joined the other munchkins and thought about the play. First, Emma would be in her blue checkered Dorothy costume, which was made from a tablecloth, talking to Toto, Danny Dog, and then the curtains would open and show Oz. Then the munchkins would come and sing, and then I would give the gift. I knew Mom was right, and probably everyone was too busy thinking about their own parts to wonder why there was a Chinese munchkin, but I was still worried. Would they laugh and whisper? I heard clapping from the audience. It was loud. That meant there were probably a lot of people. I tried to smooth out the wrinkled wrapping paper on my gift. Miss Malone beckoned us, and all the munchkins filed through the door and went on stage. Never before did the stage feel so big. I was glad there were other munchkins in front and in back of me. Emma looked so much like Dorothy with her hair braided and white. Back up. Emma looked so much like Dorothy with her braided hair and blue and white dress that I forgot for a second that I was in the play, and I thought I was watching her on TV. The orchestra played, and the munchkins began to sing. As soon as the song was over, it would be time for me. I opened and closed my mouth, but no words came out. I just looked at the space between Dorothy and me. How many steps would it be? 10? 14? Suddenly, one of the Munchkins nudged me. Grace, the Munchkin hissed. Go! It was time. I walked forward, and there was a bright spotlight on me. I tried to look into the audience, but I couldn't see anyone. I didn't hear anything except for my own breathing. With every step, I got closer to Emma, and she smiled at me, a play smile full of teeth, one for the audience. As she took the gift, I felt like I was giving her a 10-pound sack of rice. I curtsied like we had practiced, and as I looked at my shoes, I heard thunder. It was applause. For me! No one had laughed or whispered about a Chinese munchkin at all. I smiled into the bright light toward the audience as I headed back to join the rest of the munchkins. The rest of the play floated by like a soap bubble. Once I looked down at the orchestra pit and saw Melody making faces at me. I didn't dare make one back at her, but I couldn't help laughing. I pulled my bonnet over my face so no one would see. After Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times and the play was over, everyone lined up for a bow. The audience gave us a standing ovation. That meant we must have been really good. I bet I had been the best gift-giving Chinese munchkin ever. The end of chapter 19. Wow, that was good. She finally got to be the munchkin. And did it matter that she was Chinese? Not at all.